Welcome to Thought Arouser. It's part of the Vibrance community, life, leadership, and the art of thriving. Today we're exploring a simple but transformative practice, the power of questions. The way we ask questions can open doors to understanding, connection, and even faith. Let's look at how Jesus and the apostles modeled the art of asking questions, not to interrogate or corner, but to invite genuine dialogue and deeper reflection. Think about the last time someone asked you a question that made you pause, not out of defensiveness, but because it genuinely made you consider something in a new light. Good questions are not weapons, they're invitations. They move conversations from the surface to the heart, from reaction to reflection. And Jesus was a master at this. The Gospels record him asking over 300 questions, far more than he directly answered. He asked straightforward questions, like, who do people say that I am? Questions that were profoundly probing, such as, do you want to get well? Each question was carefully crafted, tailored to the individual and the moment. And when Jesus asked, what do you want me to do for you? He wasn't fishing for information. He was inviting the blind man to articulate his desire in faith. When he asked, why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith? He was helping his disciples reflect on their trust in him during the storm. In our conversations, especially when tensions rise, the questions we choose can either escalate conflict or foster openness. Instead of, why do you believe that? Which can sound accusatory, try, can you share what led you to that perspective? This subtle shift invites the other person to share their story rather than defending a position. One of the most striking features of Jesus' communication is how often he responded to questions with questions of his own. When religious leaders challenged his authority, Jesus replied, I will also ask you one question. If you answer me, I will tell you by what authority I am doing these things. John's baptism, where did it come from? Was it from heaven or of human origin? That's in Matthew 21, 24 through 25. His question exposed their motives and forced them to grapple with the implications of their own beliefs. His method did several things. It diffused confrontation, shifting the focus from argument to reflection. It challenged assumptions and exposed inconsistencies without direct attack, treating his listeners as capable of deep thought and self-examination. Jesus' questions were not evasive or manipulative. They created space for people to encounter truth for themselves. In Luke 24, after his resurrection, Jesus met two disciples on the road to Emmaus. Do you remember this story? He asked, what are you discussing so intently as you walk along? He could have revealed himself. Instead, he drew them out, allowing their disappointment and their confusion to surface before offering hope and clarity. This approach is not just ancient wisdom, it's vital in today's world. In an age of sound bites and social media debates, fights, asking thoughtful, open-ended questions can help de-escalate tension and invite dialogue. For example, when faced with a divisive issue, instead of stating your case immediately, you might ask, what experiences have shaped your view on this? Or, how do you see this issue impacting your life or the community? These questions communicate humility and your desire to understand. In our last episode, we considered Acts 17, where the Apostle Paul used questions to invite dialogue when speaking to the philosophers in Athens. He began by observing their religious practices, and then, this is Acts 17:23, he said, what you worship as something unknown, I'm going to proclaim to you. He opened with curiosity and respect, unlocking the door to conversation. In our modern context, this principle is just as relevant. Consider a workplace discussion about a controversial topic. Rather than jumping to defend your position, you might ask, what concerns are most important to you in this situation? Or, what do you hope will happen as a result of this decision? These questions invite others to share their values and priorities, creating common ground for further discussion. Current events also show the need for this approach. In polarized debates, whether about politics or faith or social issues, those who ask sincere, open-ended questions are often the ones who build bridges rather than walls. They model the humility and respect that Jesus displayed, making it possible to engage even when agreement seems impossible. So what can we learn from Jesus and the apostles about the power of questions? Use humble, open-ended questions to invite honest conversation and deeper understanding. Let your questions show that you value the other person, not just their stance. In doing so, you follow Christ's example, fostering dialogue, building relationships, and opening hearts to the truth. As you go about your week, ask yourself, what questions can I ask that will invite others to think, reflect, and share more deeply? How can I use the art of the question to sidestep debates and open dialogues? Is there an opportunity for growth beyond this disagreement? If so, how can I unlock it? If you found this thought arouser helpful, visit vibrance.community/membership for more insights on life, leadership, and the art of thriving. We'll see you soon.